Okay. It's Mr. Walker here, and it's time for another math lesson with Mr. Walker because that's what we do, right? So I apologize. I'm a bit tired today, a little worn out. I haven't been sleeping too great lately. It's kind of an embarrassing problem. I don't really want to talk about it. So I guess I could tell you guys, just don't put it on like YouTube or anything like that. So I've been having a lot of math mares lately. Um, if you're not familiar with what a math mare is, it's a math related nightmare. I guess it's all the math and science that I constantly have in my head. It's what I dream about too, and sometimes they make me a little bit scared. So if it's all right with you guys today, I've been keeping track of them in my dream journal. So I was hoping that maybe you guys could help me solve a couple of these. Maybe I could rest a little easier, get some better sleep because I'm just exhausted. Um, so you guys feel up for that today? All right, cool. So we shouldn't need much. Probably just something to write on, something to write with, and then we'll start tackling these kind of problems and see if I can finally catch some Z's. All right. So gather up your stuff and maybe back here. I really appreciate your help with this one. So our goal for today is a pretty easy one, I guess, if you're going to be helping me out with this, and it's to solve some one step kind of problems. Most of these math maths haven't been too complicated, so it should be easy enough to help me out with this. But we're going to solve some one step math problems involving division because you guys are so good at division. So let's jump into one. So here's one I have here. Let me pull it out. So it says something. So I know that there's 7 days in a week, right? But I was trying to figure out in this dream I had how many weeks there are in 259 days. It just kept like occurring. I'm not sure why. But how many weeks are there in 259 days? How do you think we could figure that out? All right, so there's some good strategies out there, but I'm sure a lot of you are probably thinking, Mr. Walker, we haven't done tape diagrams in a while. Can we bring tape diagrams back? And yes, I think we can do that today. I'm going to go over a little bit how we can actually use tape diagrams in division problem solving. Now, it's not something you have to. It's not like the go-to every time, but I do find it can be helpful in some of these situations to kind of draw it out, whether you use a tape diagram or some other sort of way that you want to illustrate it. As long as you draw something out, I think that could really help. So in this dream, where I usually start off with is I draw like a big rectangle here to kind of represent my 259 days, okay? So like this guy right here is 259 days. So far so good, nothing too scary about that. But then I keep hitting this block. I'm like, well, now that I have this tape diagram drawn out, what do I do with it? I've never used one with division before. Like, what do we do? So you guys have any ideas? Can you help me out with this? Oh, okay, what if I took this 259 and I know that there's 7 days in a week, right? And my question is that I keep having this recurring question is how many weeks are there? How many weeks are there in that 259 days? So if this is, let's say 1 week, okay, it's 7 days right here that I'm going to group, and then I'm going to have to group together another 7 days, and another 7 days, another 7 days. So you're starting to get the idea here. I'm dividing that 259 up into those 7 days. So this kind of illustrates what it is that I need to do. I can see that now. So duh, I got to divide 259 by 7. We could do that, right? All right, so let's set up the problem over here. 259 divided by 7. Okay, so first I'm going to try to put these 200s into 7 groups. Not going to be able to do that. Not enough of them to do that. So I'm going to have to look at my 25. I'm going to, kind of rebundle, regroup those there. So 7 into 25. Let's count by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28. Okay, so 4 is going to be too much, but it can go in 3 times. I can make 3 in each group if I split them into 7 groups. And that would be 7 times 3. That would be 21. Subtract that. That would leave me with, then that's it, right? Oh, no, wait. Yeah, I got to bring down this 9. Okay, so bring down the 9. 49. Perfect. Okay, 7 into 49. Well, I know 7 times 5 is 35. Plus 7 more would be 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Plus 7 more would be 49. Perfect. Okay, so that's 7 times. So if I took that 49 and split it into 7 groups, there would be 7 in each group, which would give me a total of 49. Could subtract, no remainder, we're good to go. So now I know that there are 37 weeks in 259 days. So my answer will be 37 weeks. All right. feel a little bit better already. Let me go ahead and cross this one out of my dream journal here. Perfect. All right. That's good. Ooh, that was a little scary. You guys feel like helping me with one more? Cool. I'd appreciate the help on this one. This one's been definitely a reoccurring one over the last couple nights. Um, so in this one, it's in an art class, right? And I'm handing out colored pencils, and there are 249 colored pencils that I have to give out to these 8 students. 8 students. So how many pencils is each kid gonna get? That's what I keep struggling with, and I'm freaking out in class. I'm sweating, and the kids are laughing, and I don't know what to do. So if you guys can help me figure out how many pencils these kids are gonna get, that would be great. It would really help me sleep a little better. So let's see. Let's analyze this problem again and figure out what it's really asking us to do. So it says everyone's given the same number of colored pencils. So everyone's going to get the same, right? We got to keep things even for the kids. And there's 249 colored pencils to go around and 8 students. 8 students. So how many pencils does each student receive? Well, I can tell there's a couple key things going on in this question that make me think of a certain operation, a certain process that we need to use to solve this problem. And the couple key things are everyone is given the same number. So we're talking about splitting something up evenly, right? How many pencils does each student receive? Usually when we're talking about stuff like that, it's leading me towards division, right? Everyone's getting the same thing. We're dividing these up. Each of them are getting something. So usually that lends itself to division. Okay, and then we have some good numbers in here, like 249 and 8. So we have those 249 total, and each kid is going to get 8 of them. All right, it's easy enough. So I'm leaning towards division. I think we're going to need to divide those 249 pencils up among those 8 kids, right? So again, if I wanted to use a tape diagram to kind of illustrate this a little bit, because I know you guys are begging for more tape diagrams. So if I had that 249, right, this rectangle here would represent the 249 pencils that I have. And then there's going to be 8 kids that are going to get these pencils. So he's going to get some, she's going to get some, they're going to get some, here. So there's my 8 kids. I know some of the kids are a little bit bigger than some of the others, but they're all going to get the same amount of pencils. But we don't know how many pencils that is. That's what we have to figure out. So we're going to take those 249 pencils, we're going to divide them up among those 8 kiddos, and we're going to figure out how many pencils each kid's going to get. So, and we do have to keep in mind the same number of pencils. That might come back into play later. So I'm going to take that 249, and I'm going to divide it by 8. Why don't you guys go ahead and try this one out? I'm going to try it out on my own too, and then we'll get back together and we'll talk about what we did. Alright guys, so I got 31 with a remainder of 1, meaning that each kid is going to get 31 pencils. 31 and 31, and you get 31, and you get 31, and you get 31, so on and so forth. You get the idea. But what about this remainder here? This remainder. It means I have 1 pencil left over, and I can't hand that pencil out to one of those 8 kids because that would throw everything off, and they wouldn't be getting the same number anymore, right? And somebody would fight and argue, and then there'd be a wrestling match probably on the floor over that last pencil. We don't want that to happen, so I'll just keep that last one. But I do want to illustrate it over here on my tape diagram. I'm just going to draw one little shaded corner over here, and I'm going to say that this is my remainder of 1. All right, so if you didn't get that same answer as me, go ahead and check your work here. Again, if I take that 24 and I divided it into 8 groups, I'm going to have 3 in each group. And when I subtract, I have 0 left over. I got to still do that 9, though, those 9 ones. Those 9 ones, putting them into 8 groups, each group would get 1. And then I would subtract the 8, and I would still have 1 left over. Okay. So hopefully you got something similar to that. And we were able to figure out how many colored pencils each kid is going to get. Whew, man, I feel so much better now. I think I could actually probably go take a nap and sleep okay. Let me go ahead and cross out that dream. That one's good. I don't have to worry about that one anymore. I got a solution. You know what? I did have this really weird one the other night about a sport that I don't even really play, but this one's been plaguing me. You guys think you can hang out and help me maybe with one more? Awesome. You guys are the best. All right, so let's take a look at this one real quick. It's about Mr. Hughes. He's an old coach I used to have way back in the day. So Mr. Hughes, he has 155 meters of volleyball netting. That's a lot of volleyball netting. And each net, it needs about 9 meters to make a net for volleyball. So how many nets can he make? if he has 9 meters per court. A lot of stuff going on here. I feel bad for Mr. Hughes. So let's take a look at this one together and see if we can figure something out. So again, he has those 155 meters of volleyball netting. How many nets can he make if each, there's that word each again, each court requires 9 meters of netting. 9 meters of netting. Okay, so he has, you know what? Why don't you guys take a stab at this first? What would you do? How would you sketch this out? Which way are you leaning towards solving this problem? All right, well, I'm definitely thinking some division and some multiplication. There's probably 2 ways you could go with this, but I'm going to take the division route here. Because if I look at this, like, okay, let's say I have 155 meters of net right here. Let's draw this out, right? So it's 155 meters of netting. Okay, each court requires 9 meters. So for each court, I got to cut off a 9-meter chunk. So there's going to be 1 court here, 1 court here, 1 court here, so on and so forth. I don't really know how many it's going to take, but I know that each chunk is going to have 9 meters in it. 9, 9, 9, however many 9s I need, I don't know yet. So let's go ahead and we're going to take that 155 meters. We're going to divide it by 9, right? Divide it into those 9-meter chunks for each court. And then we're going to see what we end up with and how many courts we can make. All right, so you guys go ahead and work out your division. I'll work out mine, and then we'll come back together and talk about it. All right, awesome. So when I take that 155 and I divide it by 9, well, I can't take my 100s and put them into 9 groups. I don't have enough. 15 I do, though. If I take those 15, I put them into 9 groups, I'm only going to be able to put 1 in each group. So that's going to give me 9. When I subtract, I'll have 6 of those 10s left over. So I'm going to take those 10s and add them to my 1s. So I'll have 65 1s basically. And if I put them into groups of 9, let's see, we'll get about 7 in each group, which would give me 63. I'd use up 63 of them. I would subtract and I'd have 2 left over. So that means that there's going to be 17 groups. I know I'm not going to be able to fit 17 on this drawing, but you guys will get the idea. There'll be 17 groups of 9. But there's going to be 2 meters of this left over. So let's just say this is the leftover piece here. I can't really do anything with it. So I'm going to say 2 meters left over. Cool. So he can make 17 nets. Oh, Mr. Hughes, he's got it. 17 nets. He's going to do awesome. Guys, I think I'm going to sleep so much better now. You guys are a huge help. I appreciate you working through these division problem-solving problems with me. Not too terrible. Just got to make sure you read that problem carefully. See what it's actually asking you to do. Look for those keywords like each or share or split apart or break evenly. Things like that. Those are going to be cues or clues that you're going to be needing to do some division. If it helps you to draw out a tape diagram to kind of show the whole and then what you're dividing it by, how many groups you're dividing it into, so on and so forth, take advantage of that. Don't be afraid to draw pictures, to sketch things out. I do it all the time. It helps me, especially when I wake up from nightmares to draw things and write things down. It helps me out a lot, right? So anyway, thanks again for your help, guys. I'm going to go take a nap because I'm feeling a lot better. If you guys need anything from me, please let me know. And as always, I thank you for watching. All right, thanks.